Hey, I'm Randall Lobb.
And I'm Shaunessy Sinnett.
We've got a brand new show here on Channel Local Live 1.
I don't know how I feel about the new show because I'm out of my element. It's not filmed during
What
the day.
is your element? If you were going to say, like, what is your element? What is Shaunnessy's element?
Pre-recorded, G-rated local news during the daytime.
G for general audience?
Yeah. Yes. And this is different. It's filmed at night. I feel vulnerable.
Why? Wait, why are you vulnerable? You have as much power right now as you've ever had during the daily news.
In that case, let's get to our first story from Kincardine. Just kidding. It's different. It's a different topic, isn't it?
It's true. What we want to do here is we have a mandate to bring you local material, local news, entertainment, sports,
weather even?
Weather, personal training and fitness.
Sure. We sure do.
And we want to start a new reviews program, don't we, Shaunessy? We want to talk about, we see films, we see movies, we see cinema, that's all the same thing. We see books. You're a great reader. And we'll do a little round table. We'll talk about what are we reading? What are we going to watch? What movies do we, basically it's movies we haven't seen that we're going to review in advance.
I'm so excited.
It's pretty great. You see the movie that we're going to talk about, don't you?
Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Is this movie, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, it's coming up for the Christmas holiday season. Is this movie your most exciting cinematic prospect over the next 1 month?
Because I haven't seen any of the other Star Wars.
This is perfect.
It may affect my ability to appreciate this one.
Do you know anything about Star Wars?
I know a little bit about
Tell me
Star
one
Wars.
of the Star Wars things that you know.
Darth Vader.
What do you know about Darth Vader?
He's the villain.
Or-
He's Luke's father.
Yes.
Right? I
Spoiler
also
alert.
know Chewbacca.
Spoiler alert.
Hashtag spoiler alert. Yeah, don't watch this if you haven't watched Star Wars because I'm giving it all away.
Are you going to...
Chewbacca is the third thing I know.
What do you know about Chewbacca?
He's a furry
He's a furry.
creature.
Yep, he's a furry. They're just called furries. Yeah.
I know that's not true.
How do you know that? You don't know about Star Wars, is this?
Sorry, I don't know about the Star Wars. I know about R2-D2. I know about...
What do you know about R2-D2?
He's a small robot.
Do you say it like R2 a word or R2 the number or letter R and the number 2?
R2. D2.
So like letter R number 2?
Yes, is that correct?
Well, some people say ARTOO. R2.
I also know about the kind of gold man.
The Gold Man?
He's a robot.
Who's the Gold Man? Tell me about the Gold Man. The Gold Man robot. Yeah, tell me more. I'm listening.
He's friends with R2-D2.
He says, buddy.
Yes.
Do you see the Gold Man
Lightsabers.
robot? Do you like? Is there any way that you could categorize him? Like, is he tough?
Friendly. He's friendly.
He's a friendly one.
And quiet.
He doesn't say
He
much.
says words. Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does? He
He
speaks?
does. He speaks intelligently. Doesn't he?
What would you
And
think?
R2-D2 doesn't speak.
R2-D2
For
doesn't speak?
Bleeps.
He makes just sounds, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also know about lightsabers. Luke Skywalker.
What do you know about lightsabers?
They're red and blue. I also know, I know a lot.
And you know about
I
Luke
know
Skywalker,
enough.
but what do you know about Luke Skywalker?
I don't know. Are you going to tell me more?
I want you to tell me.
I gave you at
I'm
least
looking
seven
forward. You
seven
did.
things.
But can you put these things in context? Like, as you're coming into this new Star Wars movie, which, by the way, I really like the new Star Wars movie. I think
Well,
it's
now
great.
there's Daisy Ridley, right?
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Now there's her.
Daisy Ridley.
She plays the protagonist, I bet.
I mean, it sounds realistic, doesn't it?
And
You like Daisy Ridley. You saw her in something else recently?
I didn't. She's in Murder on the Orient Express, so
Exactly.
I'd like to see
and that movie, I haven't seen it yet, but I love that movie, and I give it 7 out of 10.
Did you give it a 7 out of 10?
Yeah, it's got
I
a
love
lot of-
Agatha Christie, as you know, so I give it 10 out of 10.
This is part of the excitement. Shaunessy is a big reader, and one of the things that we like to review here on this reviews program, or previews, little p, big R, reviews program, reviews program, we sometimes will review books. What are you reading currently right now?
Well, I just finished By the Pricking of My thumbs.
Yeah.
By the pricking of my thumbs.
By By
Christie.
the Pricking of My Thumb by Agatha Christie. So can you give us a little bit, no spoiler alert, can you give us a little bit about that book? What would you recommend for people taking a look at?
Well, I haven't prepared anything about this.
That's why I like this. This is what I'm after.
It's a Tommy and Tuppence. I can't even take it seriously.
What are you talking about? Why can't you talk about this?
It's a Tommy and Tuppence mystery.
What is that? What is Tommy and Tuppence?
Those are the
Two
characters.
Who's Tuppence?
A woman, wife to
Is
Tommy.
her name Tuppence?
Prudence, but they call her Tuppence.
Which is money, UK money. Tuppence.
So I don't.
Just wait. Do you remember in Mary Poppins?
Tuppence.
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 Tuppence. If you save your tuppence and put it in the bank, your tuppence will grow into a thruppence or something like that, right?
Right.
Thruppences.
Great.
Okay, so Tommy and Tuppence are in a scenario.
It's a mystery, and
it is. But just wait. Why? It's not a scary mystery because you're not. Yeah.
No.
Can we talk about that very quickly for fans who are just coming into the show for the first
believe we're
time,
doing this.
like ourselves? You're not big on.
Too much. I don't like too much violence
Right.
or too much. It's like things that frighten me. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. Anyway.
This is good. This is how we set the baseline for our likes and dislikes, and then we will.
Yeah.
The audience knows
So
where we stand.
I won't read a lot if it's too frightening or if it's, over the top, maybe out of my comfort zone.
So what would be something that would be scary for you? Can you come up with? Can you give me an example?
I don't love any horror films, or I'm sure the Stephen King stuff would scare me.
What did you give it out of 10? What did you give it out of 10?
Which? Agatha Christie's?
It. The movie It. Stephen King It.
People seem to like it, so maybe a 5.
You give it a 5?
And also, wasn't that kid from Stranger Things in it? So a 6, maybe.
Finn Wolfhard.
The year of Finn Wolfhard, this year.
That guy has probably the best name in movies.
He's in everything, and he
Doesn't
has
it
the best
sound just
name.
like 3 words that they just put together?
Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
I thought Shaunessy Sinnett was a good name,
You have a good
but
name.
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
He was in that, so 6 out of 6.
Hey, he's forming a band.
Yeah,
I think
Calpurnia.
Calpurnia, I think, is the name of the band. And I believe they did a cover of a Joy Division song.
Cool.
I think. Did I make that up?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
I
cool.
maybe made that up.
So they have good taste. You'd say they have good taste.
I think if you are into Joy Division or bands that are sort of marginally popular from the early 80s and was he 14?
Yeah, he's
You're
young.
cool. You're cool. So I also haven't seen it, but I give it 7 out of 10
okay.
because it has a scary clown.
Oh, I hate clowns too.
That's right, and you won't like that.
No.
Tommy and Tuppence, would they run into a murder though? And murder's scary, so I'm kind of wondering how that.
I don't know how much to give away here, but that's the premise of it. They kind of get onto a case, and Tuppence takes it upon herself.
Is she like
to go with it and investigate?
She's the investigator, or Tuppence is joining Tommy?
I think in previous novels they were a partnership, but in this one she kind of takes charge and goes on her own.
Stop it!
I'm really not selling it for anybody out there.
No.
Not
This
that
is
bad.
This is why we're having this show, because we're reviewing what's happening in pop culture. And
super.
And
this is not popular, really, is it?
Yeah, it is. You read it, and you have good taste, and you know what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you reading that I should know about?
Oh, tit for tat.
Tell us more.
The mouse has claws.
Tell us more.
Well, right now I just finished Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the book.
Oh.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen parts of it.
What do you give it out of 10?
I would give it, I think it's kind of a classic, right? So I feel like I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Good job. Why would you give it 8 out of 10? What's one thing that you would say is an 8 worthy?
The guys with the long hair.
Spicoli.
Yep. And
Sean Penn.
Drugs.
It's true. There's they are smoking marijuana, cigarette smoke.
8 out of 10. For those reasons.
You're right.
What's the book like?
The book. So I just finished the. Do you know who wrote the book?
No, who wrote it?
Well,
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn wrote the book, and no, it wasn't Sean Penn. Did you ever see a movie by? I'm going to show you a picture. Now, for those of you who are watching this, I'm going to show her a picture of a person and see if she's. Have you ever seen this movie? Don't look at the name of the person. It's called Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
Have you ever seen this movie?
Jerry Maguire.
You were quoting this movie, weren't you, tonight?
What did I say?
I'm just a boy
right.
standing here.
In front
Now, don't
of
look. Who wrote those movies? That person, don't look, you peeker. That person, before he was a filmmaker, when he was 15 years old, he graduated from high school. He had been writing for magazines, national magazines,
Cool.
music reviews, and he graduated high school at 15, and he became real game. He became a Rolling Stone writer at 15.
Give us the name. Give us his name.
Cameron Crowe.
That's what I was going to guess.
She was. He's graduated from school, and he's out and he's writing and he's traveling with bands, and he's very cool as a kid, but he didn't get a chance to graduate. He didn't get a chance to go to prom and really feel being a senior and all that. So in 1978-79, at age 22, he went to a high school in San Diego, and he embedded himself in the school as though he was a senior student, and he wrote about being a high school student.
Interesting.
And it's a really interesting book because of all the things that happened in high school in 1979 that right now would get everybody arrested.
Oh.
Period.
I can imagine.
It was a different time.
So what would you rate the book, all these things considered?
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
I would give it a 9 out of 10. It sounds excellent. You just talked it up.
I loved this book because I was there in that era.
Right.
I was in grade 9 in 1979. Yeah, and Penelope Spheris directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High from a Cameron Crowe script, and that script is exactly lifted from the book. And I loved the movie, and I loved the book, but I give it 5 out of 10 because I don't want to go too far. I don't want him to get a big head out of this.
Okay,
you know
I see why you gave it 5 out of 10. Yeah.
I mean, I really loved the book, but I know, was it that great?
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. What's the movie you're most excited about?
The movie-
Upcoming. Are you excited about Star Wars or something else?
Well, we're talking about Star Wars today. That's what we're here to talk about. And that's why I want to know a little bit more
kinda took
about
the long
Tommy
road.
and Tuppence. I just want to hit this a little bit more. By the pricking of my thumb, what is that quotation from?
Macbeth.
Macbeth. Who
Which
says
I
it?
have read.
Do you remember who says it?
Something wicked this way come.
By the pricking of my thumbs.
Is it Lady Macbeth?
Something wicked this way comes.
Who is it?
It's when the three witches are waiting for Macbeth and he comes along. And the pricking of my thumbs is she gets a feeling in her thumb when Macbeth is coming along to talk to them.
That is spoken like a true ex-English teacher. Thanks so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
That.
And so I like it and was her actual name Agatha Christie, or was that not a pseudonym, a nom de plume?
I want to say, I know she was married first to a Christie, so I want to say it was her real name.
Okay.
And that was her first husband, and then she had a second.
Right, but she didn't change her name because she had already.
Achieved worldwide.
And she has hammered out so many books in her lifetime.
Oh my gosh, she's the most.
She's dead, by the way.
Spoiler alert. I think she died in
Spoiler alert. Agatha Christie's
1976 or
dead.
something around there.
Yeah.
Something like that. She is the most widely published author, and her works are the third most published works, third only to the Bible,
J.K. Rowling,
and Shakespeare.
and the Bible.
The Bible and Shakespeare.
Do you think that Agatha Christie is Agatha Christie the 1930s J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, maybe because she's so widely read.
So popular.
And things went
in
to
her
plays,
day.
right?
And
They were
British.
plays.
I mean, you're not. Anyway, it's a theory I'm working on. I haven't read any Agatha Christie except 10 Little Indians. Have you read that one?
Haven't.
Spoiler alert, none of the characters are native.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that'll be interesting when you get there.
Okay.
You'll be disappointed. And neither are they East Asian. So really interesting. Really, really interesting.
Okay.
So what is it about this book that you like? You've read a number of Agatha Christie. Tell me, is it do you like the dirt under your fingernails of the British seaside or wherever they are?
What do I like best about it?
I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I think it's not too scary, right? I like something that keeps me guessing.
It's a little game you're playing with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, was it Carl? Was it Penelope Wingle?
That's yeah. And do you know what I think I like the most is
I don't.
the fact that it is so widely read, and it's a classic. I feel
I
like I
think it
wanted to
is.
go back and revisit all those. I did all the Sherlock Holmes. I did
Wait
all
a
the
minute.
short stories.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was really interested that you were a Sherlock Holmes fan.
Again, they're mystery. They're safe.
They are.
They keep you on edge.
But are they safe? Hound of the Baskervilles? Chilling.
It's a little spooky.
Chilling.
I read it in the daytime. It's fine.
Do you find that if you read it at night, you would have been carried away by some of the?
Spooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to continue in that kind of like British mystery box, and I expanded into Agatha Christie.
How do you think this book is going to end, or are you at the end?
I finished it last night.
Who did it? Spoiler alert.
Hashtag spoiler alert.
For those of you who haven't read it, who did it?
Mrs. Lancaster.
What?
Obviously.
What was the?
I never guessed it.
What was the What was the crux of the issue? What was it?
Tuppence went to investigate because she felt sorry for Mrs. Lancaster, but it turns out Mrs. Lancaster was guilty all along.
No.
I feel like I'm gonna lose friends over this episode because
Why is that?
I don't sound very cool.
Are you kidding me? Listen, I'm listening. I'm interested. I want to know what's happening.
I feel like,
I told you about my fast times at Ridgemont High.
yeah, but Agatha Christie's a little more.
Do you know that if you wanted to buy an Agatha Christie book, you could just go anywhere and pick it up?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
really
you wanted to buy
widely.
the Cameron Crowe book, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you cannot find it for less than many hundreds of dollars. I had to read it online. I had to read an ebook because that's all I could find was an ebook.
So I think what we're getting to is I'm more popular than you and more current.
I think you probably have your finger on the pulse of the pop culture scene, but it's not necessarily it's your cup of tea.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm in no position to judge. You see, we've got a Spider-Man, we've got a Turtle, we've got an Agatha Christie, we've got some Apple products. Like, everybody likes different things, and that's really why. Thank you so much for checking out our review here on Reviews. And we were talking about Star Wars, The Last Jedi, coming out December 15th. And I'm going to give, what are you going to give Star Wars, The Last Jedi? Is Golden Guy in this
There's
one?
a lot of hype.
Is the Golden
on
Guy
this.
in this?
I don't know.
If he was, would it make you raise
It
your...
wouldn't affect my rating.
You're kidding.
There's a lot of hype around this. Disney now own this franchise.
Oh, I think we're going to have some Disney family chit-chat. Can we have hashtag Disney family chit-chat?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Why are you giving Disney a boost?
They need the help. Their stocks are down.
Stocks were I think they were $103 today.
Perfect. They need the help.
Who is marrying someone who works at Disney?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I thought somebody was. Maybe
Nope.
it was somebody in an Agatha Christie. Maybe it was
Yeah.
Tuppence. Is Tuppence married?
Yeah, but she must be. What would you rate it? What would you rate Star Wars:
I
The Last Jedi?
liked Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I liked Golden Man was in it, and I liked R2 as ARTOO. I liked that character. I liked the idea of red and blue.
Yeah.
So that actually hurt my dog.
Easy does it, right?
Guys, dog hand sometimes can't move your hand a certain way, and I just moved that way. I like when it's like, it's a great sound. Ben Burt did the sound effects for 77 Star Wars. And Tom, did he do sound effects for subsequent Star Wars films?
Affirmative.
He did. Yes. So, Ben Burt, a sound designer. I don't know if he's still kicking. I don't know if he's doing the sound for this, but I think they'll be influenced by his great sound design. And that sound design in The Last Jedi has put it over the top for me. I'm going to give that movie 8 out of 10. I loved it.
That's our highest rated media tonight.
So you're watching Reviews with Shaunessy and me, Pops Culture, Randall, Lobb, the lab coat guy, and probably some other stuff too.
You have a lot of names.
I have a lot of
Are we
names.
going to see them again?
I think we'll be back. Even when you're back down in LA, we're going to Skype in and we're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to get current with pop culture.
LA is home of
You're
pop
down,
culture.
and you're going to have your fingers and
On
your
the pulse.
feet on the pulse of the Hollywood entertainment scene,
Oh, boy.
and novels and plays. There's no telling where we're going to go. Next time we come back, we'll give you a little bit of our backgrounds, why our perspective is more valuable than almost any other perspective. And you're going to really be informed. You're going to want to see the things that we recommend.
Oh, I can't wait.
Me
We'll
too.
see you again.